By the time he turned 30, Lionel Messi had already won more club trophies than almost anyone in the history of the sport. Four Champions Leagues, a record four straight Ballon d'Ors, and a calendar year scoring record that still stands today. And people still argued he wasn't the greatest of all time. Why? Because with his own national team, he had won nothing, not one senior trophy. Instead, a red card 2 minutes into his international debut, five major finals lost, a criminal conviction, a retirement announced in tears, a 3-month ban for accusing his own football federation of corruption, live on camera. This is the story of the strangest split career in sports history. A man who conquered club football almost completely, while his own country's shirt seemed cursed. It's also the story of how, against 15 years of evidence, he actually fixed it. Stick around, because the fall is worse than you remember, and the fix is stranger than you think. Let's start at the bottom of the fall because it goes deeper than people remember. August 2005. 18 years old, number 19, Messi comes on as a substitute for Argentina and his very first cap. 2 minutes later, he throws an elbow, gets sent off, and walks back to the tunnel without completing a single pass. That's how this story begins. A year later, it looks like redemption already. 2006 World Cup. Messi scores his first ever World Cup goal against Serbia and Montenegro. 18 years old and unstoppable. Then the quarterfinal comes against host nation Germany. The coach doesn't put him on. Not for 1 minute. Argentina loses. Messi watches the whole collapse from the bench. Keep that detail in your pocket. It matters again in exactly 20 years. Here's the contrast that defines this entire era. That same season at Barcelona, Messi had already helped win a Champions League, though a thigh injury meant he watched the final from the stands. Even his club triumphs came with a footnote, but the trophy still counted. 2007, his first final as a senior player with Argentina, Copa América against Brazil. Argentina loses 3-0. Heartbreak number 1. 2 years later at Barcelona, he wins an unprecedented 6 trophies in a single calendar year and picks up his first Ballon d'Or. At club level, he's already unstoppable. With his country, he's still searching for a single trophy. 2010. Argentina's own legend, Diego Maradona, is head coach now. Germany ends the dream again, 4-0 in the quarterfinal. Messi doesn't score once the entire tournament. The very next year, he sets a calendar year scoring record that still stands. Over 90 goals in 12 months. Individually, there's no argument left to have. With Argentina, the argument is the only thing anyone's having. 2014. Argentina claws back to a World Cup final. Extra time, 1 German goal is enough. Messi wins the tournament's Best Player award. Best Player, losing team. 2015. Copa América final against Chile. Scoreless through extra time. Argentina loses the shootout. That's 3 straight major finals lost with the national team in 8 years. That same year at Barcelona, he wins the treble, League, Cup, and Champions League. His second unprecedented treble in 6 years. By 2016, this isn't a losing streak anymore. This is rock bottom. Same opponent, same result. Chile on penalties, again. 2 days after his 29th birthday, Messi stands in front of a wall of cameras and says he's done. Retired from the national team, in tears. Here's what almost nobody brings up. Days later, a court convicts him and his father of tax fraud. The retirement and the conviction, same 2 weeks. And here's the part that makes this an actual redemption story instead of a highlight reel. Things didn't just get better from here. They got worse first. Public pressure, reportedly including calls from Argentina's own government, talks him out of retirement. He's back within months. 2018 World Cup. Messi's captain again, misses a penalty against Iceland, and the coach loses control of the locker room as Messi and a veteran teammate start calling the shots themselves. Doesn't matter. France eliminates Argentina in the round of 16, in a game remembered more for a French teenager's breakout than anything Argentina did. 2019, the chapter almost nobody talks about. Argentina loses the Copa América semifinal, and a furious Messi publicly accuses the tournament of being rigged for the host nation. In the third place match, he's sent off, only his second career red card, and refuses to collect the bronze medal. He's suspended 3 months. That same year, he wins his sixth Ballon d'Or, a record nobody else has ever touched. Same calendar year, an international suspension for accusing his own federation of corruption, and the single most prestigious individual trophy in the sport. By now, the debate had a name: greatest of all time. If he ever wins with Argentina, every club trophy got weighed against the one thing still missing. Then, finally, the turn. Copa América 2021. The final against Brazil, at the Maracanã in Brazil, in front of Argentina's fiercest rival on their own turf. One goal is all it takes. Argentina wins 1-0, their first trophy in 28 years. Messi's first ever title with the national team, after 16 years and 5 lost finals to get there. 18 months later, the redemption completes itself. Qatar. Most redemption videos skip straight to this part. They don't mention Argentina opens the tournament with a loss to a team ranked 51 spots below them, one of the biggest upsets in World Cup history. Somehow they don't collapse. They win every match after that, all the way to the final, Argentina against France, 3-3 after extra time, genuinely one of the greatest finals ever played. Argentina wins it on penalties. Messi finally holds the one trophy that had defined his career by its absence. Even the most epic redemption in sports comes with an asterisk. As he's handed the trophy, the host nation's leader drapes a ceremonial robe over his shoulders, completely covering the jersey the whole planet wanted to see. He takes it off minutes later. Here's what separates this redemption from every other comeback story. It didn't stop there. Fast forward to 2026. Messi is 38. Weeks before this World Cup, he's subbed off early in a league match. Muscle fatigue. People are openly wondering if his body can survive one more tournament. Then the tournament starts, and he scores a hat trick in the opening match against Algeria. 3 goals. The oldest player in World Cup history to ever do that. Here's the detail almost nobody catches. That hat trick lands exactly 20 years to the day after his very first World Cup goal back in 2006. After the first goal, cameras catch him crying. Asked about it, he says it had nothing to do with football, that he'd gone through some difficult days. He never explains further. Nobody knows what he meant. Later in the tournament, against Jordan, Messi comes off the bench. First time at a World Cup since that 2006 quarterfinal, the one where he never left it. 20 years ago, the bench meant he wasn't good enough yet. This time he comes on anyway, and scores. Same seat. Completely different story. He's now the only player in history to appear in 6 World Cups. He turned 39 in the middle of this one. Most footballers have already retired by this age. He's still breaking records nobody thought were catchable. So why does this particular redemption count as the most epic one in sports history? Not because he won once, because for most of his career he'd already proven everything a player possibly could. And it still wasn't enough for people until this happened too. A red card on his debut, a bench snub at 18, 5 lost finals across a decade, a criminal conviction, and a retirement inside the same 2 weeks. A 3-month ban for calling his own federation corrupt. Stacked right alongside 4 Champions Leagues, a record 6 Ballon d'Ors, and scoring numbers nobody's ever matched. That's not a straight line to greatness. That's 2 completely different careers happening in the same body. One finished years early, the other finally catching up 20 years later. So next time someone calls this a simple redemption story, you'll know it's the opposite of simple. It's a messy, flawed, 2-decade climb. And that's exactly what makes it the most epic one there is. If you want more like this, the stuff that never makes the highlight reels, subscribe. There's more where this came from.